Good morning. 'Tis Friday. Good day to be alive. We were going to finish out the week with Genesis chapter 43, continuing with the story of Joseph. Remember, they'd come down, his brothers got what they needed, come back to Jacob, and they're trying to convince him to send Benjamin down with them next time because that's what Joseph was requiring, and Jacob wasn't having none of it. But we're going to continue in that line this morning. It says, "And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass, when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Judah spake unto him, saying, The man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Israel said, Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, The man asked us straitly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? That's what he asked. We told him. He said, We told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and I will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also all our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shall you require him. If I bring him not unto you, and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever." So Judah's willing to step up and take the burden. He says, For except we had lingered, surely now have we returned this second time. And their father Israel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. But take the best of the fruits of the land in your vessels, carry down the man a present, a little balm, a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds. And take double money in your hand. Remember, they came back with their money because somebody had snuck and put it back in there. This time take double to make sure that he knows we're on the level, right? And money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, and go again unto the man. And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother. Remember, Simeon's still locked up down there. Send away your other brother and Benjamin, and if I'm bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. You'll do a lot when you get hungry enough, I guess, don't you? And the men took the present, and they took double money in their hand and Benjamin, and rose up, and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, Bring these men home and slay, not slay them, slay something to eat. Slay and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. Now this is different. They didn't go into his house last time, and they're already scared that, because of the whole money deal. So this has got to make them a little antsy, I would think. It says the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen and our asses, donkeys. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house. So they're going to start pleading their case before they even get into Joseph, kind of see if he can make it a little easier on them, I guess. They said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass, when we came to the inn, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. And other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, Peace be to you, fear not. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Simeon out to them. So this has got to relieve them some. He said, don't worry about the money. It was me. And here's your brother too. He says, And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph came at noon, for they heard that he should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well? The old man of whom you spake, is he yet alive? And they answered, Thy servant our father is in good health, he is yet alive. And they bowed down their heads and made obeisance, again fulfilling that dream he had all those years ago. And he lifted up his eyes, Joseph, and he saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother, of whom you spake unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto thee, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his bowels did yearn upon his brother. And he sought where to weep, and he entered into the chamber and wept there. He sees Benjamin, and he just can't take it. He's got to slip off, behind the curtain, so to speak, and get him a good cry in. But he fixes himself up. It says he washed his face, went out, and refrained himself, and said, Set on bread. They set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with them by themselves. So you got three different parties here eating, and kind of off to themselves. It says, Because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. You see that kind of thing. People won't even sit down and eat with each other and think that's weird, but it's still like that today a lot of places, isn't it? Sadly. It says, And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth, and the men marveled at one another. That would freak me out too. There's 11 of them there, and they don't know the Joseph. They don't think he knows them, yet he knows exactly the order in which they were born. He has the food set in order, and that's, it says they marveled at one another. I'd marvel too. It says, And he took and sent messes to them, their plate of food, before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times so much as any of theirs, and they drank and were merry with him. Benjamin had no part of selling Joseph, so he got 5 times more. And that's it for 43. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Tune in next week. It keeps on going, this story of Joseph and his brothers, and it keeps getting better. Where'd my little thingamabob go? God bless you. See you next time.